HTML tutorial frameset. So today we're going to talk about how to create frames with HTML. And first of all, we have three documents here: frameset, frame 1, and frame 2. Okay, for frameset, you just see it as the control panel of these two frames here. So control panel, so it should contain all the information about frame 1 and frame 2. Okay, for frameset, first of all, we have to, put in the information of frame 1 and frame 2. Frameset, document. And they are all HTML. They're all in HTML extensions. So now, first of all, we need to have frameset, and we add it with a close tag, frameset. So for a good practice of HTML, we should have open tag and close tag. But for this frame tag, it just closes itself. So a source, SRC stands for source. So we copy and paste. Put the tab to make it a readable function. Okay, frame 1. For this one, frame 1. So there will be, this will be put on the left column. And frame 2 puts on the right. Okay, for frameset, because we have two columns here, so we need to specify the size of each column. And in this case, just 50-50, half a page for each. We use percentage here. Okay, let's test it. We run it, always in scripting and coding, we run the scripts, the codes and test it. Yeah, it works perfectly here. Frame 2. So now we move to the second part, and in this second part, we would like to put in some new content in frame 1, and hopefully it will be shown on frame 2. Not hopefully, but just on the next stage. Okay, for frame 1. This one, frame 1, we want some contents to be shown here, and then there are some links on frame 1, and when users click the link, so the contents, the new web page will be shown on frame 2, which is on the right. So now frame 1. So let's give an anchor tag, anchor link tag. So to copy and paste. So we give a half, that is the source of this link, on which when the users click, it will bring the users to, say, in this example, google.com. And for second, I would like to use Facebook. And these two links are going to be shown on frame 2, but now we have to add something in between the anchor links here to make sure it is shown. So Google, Facebook. Now we test it. Yeah, Google, Facebook, two anchor links. Yeah, but you see, it's only shown on the self frame. Doesn't mean to show on the frame where the codes are. But we wanted to, we want this to be shown on frame 2, so we add a target here which means, the destination where in which we want the web page to be shown. So target. So what's the target? Frame 2. Yeah. And here we add a name for frame 2. Let's give it a name so that the code down below in frame 1, the HTML in frame 1 can recognize it. So we type frame frame 2, yeah. Frame 2. So let's go test it. Save it. Okay, test it, refresh. Refresh. Okay, let's click on, I don't know, yeah, Google is shown here. Facebook's shown here. Okay, they are all shown on frame 2. Now, we move to the JavaScript part, because now we want, what we want is a drop-down list instead of 2 anchor links. So we want a drop-down list on frame 1, so that, the users, pick up either options from the drop-down list, and to bring the users on frame 2 the corresponding page here. So Facebook will be shown there. So let's have a look. We have to give the form. That is the HTML code for a drop-down list. So select, and within select, we have options. In this case, we have 2 options because we have 2 links to be directed to be shown on frame 2. And for each option, there must be a value. Okay, copy and paste. Okay, we give some info for each option. Google, Facebook, so they will be shown up to make sure they will be shown up. Okay, let's save it, test it. Yeah, good. Google, Facebook. But now you click on it, the pages won't be shown there. So let's add something. And people may think that they simply move the HTML anchor link there and it will be shown up, but I'll tell you, it is not that easy. That's why I said we need JavaScript. We need the help from JavaScript to execute, what we want to achieve, what we want. When people, pick up any options, from the select list, from the drop-down list here, so they will be directed to frame 2, and the content will be shown in frame 2 now. So we write some JavaScript. So for JavaScript, we need a script tag, and of course we can specify the type. But even you don't do so, it the browser will recognize it. Is this JavaScript? Is this not VBScript, or is not any kinds of scripting languages? So the type will be test / JavaScript. So for JavaScript, first of all, we need option, and we give a name URL, but you can call it whatever you like, and URL, okay? This is the name of function. And we have to include brackets and two curly brackets. So make sure you get the brackets right, because there are two different types of brackets. Now we look down below there, and we see there should be values for each options. Of course, the files would be the URL, the real URLs, the links users to either Google or Facebook. And now we have to pass this value to the function URL function here, so that JavaScript can read the option values from HTML. And remember, HTML and JavaScript are two different discrete languages. They can do things together, but you have to kind of bridge them. So the way to bridge them is that you give it an event, JavaScript event within the HTML code status onChange here. onChange means that whenever users change the options here, the onChange event records it, and it sends the result to the URL JavaScript function here. So of course we have to type URL. The syntax is like this, and of course brackets. And if you like, you can add this line with a semicolon here. So now we have to pass the value from the option values to the onChange JavaScript function, and then onChange JavaScript function will transport it, will pass it to the JavaScript function, which is within the head tags. And these two files, google.com, facebook.com here. But because we have got two different files here, we cannot simply move, say for example, www.google.com into the brackets, URL brackets there. We have to give them variable. I give it variable, okay, URL. And now we have to make the function execute, show the URL on frame 2. So what we want to do is we type window.open. Sorry. Okay, and open close parentheses. Okay, and two parameters here, separated with the comma. Okay, open quotation marks here. And for this is the parameter. This is the URL variable. And for this one is the target value here. It is the attribute here, target. So for this target, of course, frame 2, because we given frame 2 a name, which is frame 2 here. So type frame 2. Now we save it, we test it, and you will see the result, which is not working. You see? You can see not working. Okay, error. Why? The reason is simple, because this URL variable and the HTML isn't, it is just undefined. So for this HTML, this is HTML, it is separated from JavaScript, which is within the head tags. So this URL just does not mean anything to the HTML and to JavaScript. So we have to change it, like, because we take the option value, the value from the option. So we have to specify where this refers to select, okay? And under select there are options. So we type this options, yeah, as, remember, as this options, because we've got two options here, and this one square brackets, square brackets. We've got three different kinds of brackets here: brackets, curly brackets, and square brackets. And the end selected, because when the users click on either of the option files here, it is considered to be selected. So selected dot selected index, and remember this index, the I here, is capital letter I and dot or period value, because we are taking select option and value under select option, selected option. So we pass the value, either of the values here, either Google or Facebook.com, this URL value to this URL function, and we bring this value to the function URL, and we pass the value. We also call it parameters in JavaScript, and we pass this parameter to the window open method, or object, whatever you like. Okay, I don't care about this. Okay, we pass it to window open, and window open just mean open a web page as a window, and this window is not a window, it's a frame, because we've given it a name, we've given frame to a name. So URL is just passed from there. So this parameter is the source, yeah, and this is the target, just like HTML. So JavaScript and HTML working together. So let's test it. Okay, refresh. Okay, frame 2, this is frame 2. Okay, Facebook, yeah, successful. Google, yeah, see, it's working now. It works perfectly. So in this tutorial, we debugged, we tested, we find out the errors ourselves, and I think that's the life of scripters or coders. If whenever you feel like learning some scripting or learn some coding, HTML, VB scripts, whatever, so you can do something like this. You test it yourself. If you found any questions, if I found any questions while I'm scripting, I will test it myself first, and then I will, if I couldn't find a solution to it, just go to some forums and ask for them. And there are many good, people there. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's useful. Thank you.